I'm Jai Bezeski.
And Kate Bezeski.
Welcome to the JK Show, episode 10.
10.
Today we are talking about the culture of the magic pill.
Lose weight fast.
Is it the blue pill or the red pill? You know, the Matrix?
Whatever's the quickest one.
I don't know. Anyway, apparently there's a magic pill. And apparently everybody wants it. And
we're selling it today.
Yeah, only $9.99. So look, there is this culture of this magic pill, and you know, a lot of us fall into the trap of it, and it's not really our fault because we go to the doctor and they tell us that our blood pressure's high, and they write us a prescription. Here, take this pill, and you don't have to worry about anything. And then we go home, we take our pill, and then we go to McDonald's. Or we keep eating, you know, the shit food that we're eating that's actually creating the problem, the lifestyle that's creating the problem. So we don't ever take on the responsibility of, or the ownership of...
We don't connect the dots of the issue and the outcome, and that it was actually our fault to begin with, because the doctor, even the doctor dismisses it. So
because there's a magic pill.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it's with our blood pressure, it's with cholesterol, it's with, you know, basically everything. And we invest in our doctors and we expect them to give us the best advice. We expect them to take care of us and protect us and to nurture us.
And do you know what? Like, they're used to people going in there expecting that as well. And so that's what they deliver. I'm not saying like doctors are bad or anything like that, but it's like that's their job. And most people do go in and say, I've got this, blah, blah, blah. And the doctor goes, well, here you go, here's a tablet and that'll fix it. Because they don't actually want to go and put the work in.
That's it. I mean, doctors are trained in pharmacology. They're, you know, the people who are coming out to doctors' offices and going into the medical, you know, what are they, when they go away and
the
conferences and stuff like that. It's all sponsored by pharmaceutical companies. It's all hosted by pharmaceutical companies. These doctors are going to Hawaii and staying in, you know, resorts on the dollar of the pharmaceutical companies, and then they're going into these trade shows and these conferences, and they're learning about the latest diabetes pill and the latest, you know, whatever pill that's going to help things. The thing is that, you know, that's the type of training that doctors are getting. And when doctors are being completely bombarded by all of these patients coming to them with all of these problems, they can't treat them fast enough because there's just so many of you know, our nation that aren't taking care of themselves, that they're just writing out these prescriptions, continuously writing out these prescriptions, because people just want, like I say, the quick pill. But people want, what it really is they want a quick fix. They want the symptoms to go away. But they don't look at the deeper level of...
They don't look internally.
The root cause of it. You know, would you rather get rid of cancer in your body, or would you rather just mask the experience of having cancer in your body?
Like a Band-Aid on...
So that's kind of what we're talking about with this whole culture of the magic pill. And I really want to break it down because it doesn't serve us. In the end, it's going to hit you. And there's a great quote, and it says that life is hard if you live it the easy way, and it's easy if you live it the hard way. Okay, I think I've actually mentioned that quote before. I'll say it again. Life is hard if you live it the easy way, and easy if you live it the hard way. So what does that mean exactly? What that means is when you do go to the doctor and ask for that symptom relief, quick fix pill, then basically you're living life the easy way, but you're going to experience a hard life, because that's not going to make you healthy. That's not going to actually bring you to a higher quality of life. That's actually just going to push the problem out further, and then you're going to have to deal with that on top of all of the other problems that are going to come along with not only the medication that you're taking, because they usually have side effects as well, but all of the other problems that are going to come from your lifestyle that you haven't changed.
Yeah. I used to get migraines all the time. At one point it was about 3 times a week, and like debilitating, I'd vomit, all of that sort of stuff. And then as I got like a little bit older, they sort of reduced a bit, but I would take Panadeine Forte, I would take all of this sort of stuff, because you're in so much pain and you're desperate for this magic pill. And I just assumed that I just had migraines and that's what I am. I'm just a migraine sufferer, and that it wasn't my fault. And, you know, part of it tied in with like my menstrual cycle, but some of it was just, I would just get them, you know, with no sort of, I couldn't sort of pinpoint why. But then over the years, like over the last few years, as I've like continually changed my diet, changed to like all organic, even organic like sanitary materials, like everything, then, you know, they're few and far between. Occasionally I'll get them and I can normally figure out why. But I don't medicate anyway because it never actually did anything for me. It never made me feel any better. But if I hadn't looked sort of at myself and to why I was getting them, I'd still be doing the same thing and just giving me I'd just be taking these drugs, and nothing changed anyway. There was no magic pill. I had to fix myself, and, you know, the next person may not get them at all. So it's like what works for somebody doesn't necessarily work for the next person. So I had to continually figure it out and make decisions that were hard and do things that were hard every day to try and get better. And now I'm better.
So there you go. So that's the difference. But going to the other element of it, or the other side of it, where it's easy if life is easy if you live it the hard way. Let's look at that for a second, because that's kind of where you want to be. So life is easy if you live it the hard way. So what is living life the hard way in order to make it easy? So that's getting up in the morning and exercising. Okay, so it's hard to get up every morning at first anyway and exercise every morning. Maybe making a disciplined decision with your nutrition, what you're eating healthier foods.
Making yourself a fresh juice, or...
Okay, maybe that's hard. Maybe you're living life the hard way, or maybe getting to bed early and maybe saying no to maybe consuming that extra alcoholic beverage or eating that sugary snack, right? So making it a little bit harder on yourself to get an easier life in the long run, because when you do that, obviously over time, you're not going to have any health issues. And seriously, like, what's worse than a health problem? Like, there's nothing worse than a health problem. Take away your health and everything else is shit. Okay? Everything else in your life is shit. Like,
everything else that you value. Like, people will put their work before everything, and people will put their children, which obviously, you know, are important. But if you're not healthy, there comes a point where you crash and burn. You can't go to work. You can't look after your kids. You miss out on all of these important things. You can't get an income. You don't see your child get married because you're in hospital for, you know, a disease that was preventable.
yeah.
So, yeah.
But people are getting sick. People are getting really, really sick. This is a serious problem. We're here to wake you up. We're here to let you see it from a different perspective and have a look. Like, remove yourself from the chaos of life and have a look at it from a different perspective and look at what we're doing to ourselves as a whole and how we're living. Okay, maybe it fits in socially, you know, but do you want to fit in socially, or do you want to be healthy? You know, do you want to be able to have a long, healthy life with no issues around your health?
And it's so easy to be unhealthy. So it goes back to, like, you know, living that easy life. And it's like we're constantly surrounded by so many toxins, so many, you know, even just living in the city is dodgy for us, sort of thing. And then, you know, there's the food, there's all the chemicals, there's just everything. The way that we've structured our lives and our sort of communities and stuff now are based around unhealthy practices.
Absolutely. So here's another quote for you. Short-term and long-term results are very often different and sometimes opposite. I'll say that again, it's a tricky one. Short-term and long-term results are very often different and sometimes opposite. What does that mean? So what we're talking about here is, let's say of an evening you like to have some ice cream every single night. Okay, there's going to be some repercussions with that, all right? So in the short term, what is the result of you having ice cream of an evening? Short term result, it's good. The outcome's positive. Enjoyment, pleasure, you know, entertainment. Okay, it's positive. But what are the long terms? What are the long term results?
Weight gain. Sometimes, like, you know, a lot of people have dairy issues that they don't realize, and so they end up, you know, they might get eczema, they might have other sort of like yeast infections, stuff like that. Sugar crashes,
low energy, poor sleep, low self-esteem. You know, what is your self-talk? Think about the last time you ate something horrible, in terms of something that tasted great maybe, but that was unhealthy, like, you know, something really sweet or sugary or whatever. What were you saying to you? What was your self-talk after that? Does that boost your self-esteem, or does that lower your self-esteem? You know, like, you eat something really shit and you think to yourself, oh my God, like, that was horrible. I feel crap for that. I regret that. I wish I didn't do that.
So it's like food regret the next morning you wake up. Because every morning you're like, yeah, I'm going to have the healthiest day. I'm going to be the best ever. Life's the best. And then you know, the willpower kind of, because it's surrounded by people doing ordinary things, the willpower is hard to hold on to the whole day. And then, like, so you end up having this ice cream or whatever at night. And then you get up in the morning and you're like, shit, like, why did I do that? And so it's like this food guilt, which, you know, we shouldn't be guilty for what we're doing because we should be happy with the choices that we make. But if you're not happy with the choices that you make, then something's got to change.
So let's look at the other side of that. What if you wake up at 5 o'clock every morning in the dark to get up and exercise before you have to get ready to go to work? What are you feeling in that moment when you got to get out of bed at 5 a.m. when it's cold and you don't want to get out of bed and you want to stay under the warm blankets? Okay, what is the short-term and long-term results of that? Short-term, pain. Okay, long-term, more energy, better health.
A better day.
Better day, higher self-esteem.
None of my morning boot campers walk out of here like regretting what they've done. Sure, they've got that split second when the alarm goes off where you can be like, oh, like I don't want to get up. They all rock up and they're awesome and they bounce out of here and they're, you know, way more vibrant than anyone else that they're crossing paths with at that time in the morning. So.
No doubt. I mean, you know what it's like. I'm sure you've done it. So, look, nothing takes the place of hard work. Okay, so we got to put in. This is the point, is that we need to work hard now and put in effort now to receive the outcome over time. Okay, so it's about making that shift of perception of, am I doing this for right in this very moment, or am I doing this for a greater good, for a longer term, for a bigger benefit? Because the short-term gain is short-lived and the long-term gain is long-lived. Okay, so 4 tips for you to for anybody to be productive and to be healthy in life. First tip is what I call layering. So what layering is to do multiple actions layered on top of each other in order to get a better result. For example, let's say you wake up at 5 a.m. and go to and exercise. That's great, but then if you go and back that up with a bacon and egg roll, not so great. Okay, so how can we layer our exercise? We can back it up with a juice or with a smoothie or with a healthy breakfast, you know, and then how can we then layer that? We can layer that by doing the next thing, you know, making sure we get our rejuvenation time throughout the day, making sure we have a healthy lunch.
Make sure we drink enough water.
Making sure we're hydrated. Okay, so layer, okay, to increase and stack our odds of productivity and health. Second one is quality. So identifying the most productive actions that you can take. Is exercise the most productive thing that you can do in the morning? Most likely. Is getting to bed at an appropriate time in the evening the most productive thing that you could do in the evening? Most likely. Okay, so what are the most productive things, the highest quality, highest value items and tasks that you can do every day that's going to improve your health? The next one, number 3, is stacking your odds. So stacking your odds is similar to layering, where you're doing multiple things, but stacking your odds is like your insurance policy. So for example, every day, Kate and I, we have medicinal herbs. Okay, we have like you know, medicinal teas. Every single morning we have medicinal tea. We don't do that because we're sick. We are not sick because we do that. So there's a big difference. It's like the people that go get the flu, they don't want to take drugs, so they go down to the store and they get echinacea or other herbs and things like that. Don't take the herbs when you're sick.
It needs to be preventative.
You take the herbs so you don't get sick. Okay? So if you think echinacea is good for you, then take echinacea and don't get sick. You know what I mean? Don't not take it, have a shit lifestyle, unhealthy lifestyle, get sick, and then go and chase herbs until you feel better. Okay, because it's already too late from that point. And the final thing is to manage yourself. So we often talk about time management. I don't have time. You know, there's not enough time. I don't know how to manage my time. This is where we're getting it wrong. You don't manage your time. You manage yourself within time. Okay? The only thing that you have control of is yourself. Okay, you got 24 hours, I got 24 hours, Kate's got 24 hours, we all got 24 hours.
And that doesn't change.
What you're doing in your 24 hours is very different to what I'm doing in my 24 hours, which is very different to what Kate's doing in her 24 hours. What are you doing? Just focus on you. What are you doing in your 24 hours? How can you maximize what you're doing within that space? So you look at item number 3, which is quality, which is identifying the highest value items, the highest quality tasks that you can do. Those are the things that you need to have as priority within the time that you have for yourself within a day, and making sure that those things are getting done as a priority. So that's how you manage your time. You don't actually manage your time, you just manage yourself. And that's how you can get ahead in your health and being productive and being successful and having a good job and you know, doing good in your work and having great relationships and everything else that you ever wanted in your life. All comes down to taking the responsibility and taking ownership from a mental perspective, is taking that responsibility of, no, this is on me. Okay, I'm not going to blame time anymore, because time is abstract. Time, you know, we can say time doesn't exist because what is it? It's nothing. It's man-made, right? Come from a sundial. So it's about being responsible for yourself within time and making it work for you. Okay, so habit is destiny is the final thing that we want to leave you with. So the habits that you have on a daily basis will determine your destiny. So if you're at home playing video games every night and eating popcorn and potato chips,
you're probably just going to be really good at playing video games and eating chips.
That's your destiny. You are mapping out your destiny with the actions and the habits that you create on a daily basis. But if you're exercising every day, if you're educating yourself on what's nutritious food,
if you're focusing on your mental health, if you're happy, if you're surrounded with good people,
and you're building relationships and you're doing all the fun stuff, okay, then that you're creating your destiny.
So there is no magic pill.
Goes back to again, responsibility. So yeah, so that's it. So there is no magic pill. So we've got the culture of the magic pill, and we've got taking responsibility for ourselves. So the way I see it is, which one is it? Do you want the magic pill, or do you want to take responsibility and step up? Okay, so the choice is yours, and the outcome is going to be determined based on the choice that you make. So essentially, this is like the Matrix. Take the blue pill or take the red pill. Okay, take the responsibility pill, or take the quick fix pill, which isn't really a quick fix at all. So something to think about this week. And yeah, maybe you can think about some changes that you can make in your life that are going to stack your odds, create better habits, and build that healthy life that you've always wanted.
Yeah, don't feel helpless. There's always something that you can change to change the way you feel,
Always.
to change your health. And it might seem overwhelming, but you know, hire a professional, do some research, read a book.
That's the quality element, identifying the quality things that you can do.
Yeah.
Hiring professionals,
And
reading
if somebody
books.
tells you, you know, that's just it, there's nothing you can do about that, like don't believe them.
Yeah, give them the...
Yeah, go and look up some stuff for yourself, but you need to be prepared to put in the work.
That's it.
So.
All right.
Episode 10.
Episode 10, that's our message for today. Hope you have the best day ever.
Square on Fitness.
Square on
Jane
Fitness.
Cation.
I'm Jai Bzeski.
Kate Bzeski.
Have the best day ever.
See you later.